virtual boosting balance and bone health warm-up video. My name is Alexa.
And I'm Rachel.
And we are occupational therapists. The exercises in this video are inspired by the Bone Fit program created by Osteoporosis Canada. So, in order to start, we want you guys to have a nice chair that's sturdy, probably with handles that you can sit on. We're going to go a little bit to the edge of your chair, and we're going to start with some heel taps. All right, so lift those heels up off the floor and tap them back down. And we're going to switch to toe taps, so get those toes off the floor and tap them down. Now lift those knees. All right, now roll those ankles. One way, other way. Make sure it's off the floor. Switch your feet. Other way. All right, now kick your feet forward, nice and high. If you have to hold on to the chair, don't be afraid to do so. We'll get those legs moving. All right, roll those wrists. Other way. Roll your arms. Make sure you don't hit anybody beside you. Forwards.
Takes a little more coordination.
And backwards. Nice full circles.
Using lots of your shoulder joint.
Okay, now roll your shoulders by themselves. Go backwards. And then forwards. All right, now that we're all loosened up, make sure you're holding on to a surface. Stand up from your chair, and then we're going to go behind the chair. Whenever you're standing and exercising, make sure you have a surface that you can hang on to for support. You can use both of your hands, or you can use just a few fingers depending on how much stability that you need. So we're going to stand beside our chair, and we're going to do some butt kicks. So this is where you lift your foot off the ground as if you're going to kick your butt.
Try and get that heel as close to your bum as you can.
Now we're going to lift those knees. Same thing, hang on to the chair if you need to. Lift those knees nice and high. So on the spot, marching.
If you can, if you don't need your hands, you can tap your knees, opposite hand, opposite knee. Like that. But again, if you need support, do hold on, even if it's just with one hand.
Okay, go back to that chair, hang on. We're gonna do opposite arm and leg. So you're gonna take your right arm and lift it up, and your left leg and lift it up. And then bring them back down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Switch sides, take that left arm, move it up, right leg, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, next we're gonna do some heel raises. So same thing when we were sitting down in the chair, but we're gonna do it standing up. So you're gonna lift your heels off the floor and come back down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Good work, everybody. So now that we're all warmed up, you can follow our other videos for some stretching and exercises that are osteoporosis friendly. See you later.
Bye.
Hello and and welcome to our virtual boosting balance and bone health strength video. My name is Alexa.
And I'm Rachel.
And we are occupational therapists, and the exercises today are inspired by the Bone Fit program created by Osteoporosis Canada. So to get started, you'll either need a resistance band, which you can see here. You can purchase them in store or online at any sports store, Amazon, that kind of thing. Or you need some kind of weight. So you can use official weights, you can use a water bottle that's filled or anything, a soup can, anything that kind of resembles a weight that you can find in your home. Alright, so we're going to start, and Rachel will show you the version with the weight, and I will show you the version of the exercise with the band. So we're going to start with some nice bicep curls. So that's your muscle right here at the start of your arm, the one that we use to pick things up. So what you're going to do with your band is you're going to put it underneath your foot, so your right or your left foot. I'm going to start with my right. Put my hand palm towards the ceiling, band inside of the hand, and you're just going to pull up.
And with the weights, it's similar. You're just going to be holding the weight with your hand, and then make sure that the spot that you're moving is your elbow, okay? So you're keeping the wrist straight, and you're just moving at the elbow.
And you're going to try and do about 8 to 12 reps if you can. Kind of feel for what you can do, if you need more of a weight or less. And we'll switch sides. So if you're with the band, all you do is pick up your foot, take your left foot, put it on top of the band, left hand, palm towards the ceiling, band inside, same thing, up and down.
Same thing with the weight, so you're just holding it in that hand and making sure again that you're hinging at the elbow. You don't need to be moving that wrist at all. And as Alexa said, you're just seeing how many you can do. If you find 8 is quite easy, then try to do that 12 amount. If you're finding, again, even at 12 it's a bit easy, if you're able to get a heavier weight, then that would definitely make it more challenging.
Okay. So that's our biceps. So our muscle that goes with that one is called our triceps. That's the one right in behind. So we have our pushing and our pulling muscles. So this one we use to push things. So for this example, I'm going to sit a little bit to the side. So you'll need some kind of chair that doesn't have handles on it, or you can sit to the side like I am. And with the bands, you're just going to have a little bit of space in between with your hands, and you're going to pull it right to your side. So a nice 90-degree angle. And all you're going to do is pull your hand down.
And with the weight, you're going to hold it by your side, and again, you're going to be bringing your arm back, but hinging at the elbow again, because you really want to feel it in the tricep, which is the back part of your arm, okay?
So keep that back straight and just pull your arm down.
So again, just hinging at the elbow there.
Okay, and switch sides, so same thing. Just go to the other side of your chair. Small set of the band in between your hands if you're using one. Nice and close to your body, and just pull down.
Again, for the weight version, the wrist doesn't need to be moving, and you're just, again, hinging at the elbow. You should feel it right there. So even if you put your hand on the back part of your upper arm, you should feel it tightening when you straighten your elbow.
Okay, so next we're going to do what we call opening our cupboards. So with our bands, the nice part about them is if it's too much of a resistance, so it's too hard for you to move, you can just move your hands along to make it longer, and then the resistance will be reduced. Okay, if you need to make it harder, you bring your hands nice and closer together, or you choose a different level of band. So when we're opening our covers, what we want to do is just wrap the band around our hands. We're going to hold them nice and centered, so we're at 90 degrees with both of our arms. They're at right nice and close to our waist, and we're just going to open and close.
And with your weights, you're going to be keeping those elbows at your sides so that you're just opening up as far as you're able to and bringing them back. You may only be able to get this far. Just do as far as you're comfortable with, and make sure you keep those elbows at the side.
Thumbs towards the ceiling with this one.
And as we're doing all these exercises, you can always be using your core, trying to sit up nice and tall, and just squeezing those stomach muscles together.
Okay, next version with this, if you are able, is you're going to bring your arms out and you're going to put them just about shoulder level or below. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to pull out and come back in. So keeping your elbows up. And this is going to work more of our front chest in addition to our arms.
So you should feel this one, especially with the weights here and a little bit in the chest area. So again, you're just going as far as you're able to and coming back to center.
Okay, make sure you give your arms a little bit of a wiggle after that. And we're going to go into some more of the leg stuff, but first we're going to do what we call seated rowing. So with the band, this is where we take it, we put it on the floor, both feet on top, and we're going to be pulling back. So what we want to do, and the way I best describe it, so you're going to go from your knees to your hips. So from your knees, you're going to pull back just to your hips.
And with the weights, you can have them down by your side, or by the knees rather, and bringing them back in that same motion that Alexa's doing, just a little bit different with the weights than with the band. So again, bending the elbow. When you bring them back, you should really be feeling those shoulder blades come together. Trying to do nice and controlled movements as well with these, okay? You want to find you're going slowly down and slowly back up. So usually 2 to 3 seconds one way and 2 to 3 seconds the next, just to get the maximum benefit and decrease the risk of injury.
Okay, so next we're going to go on to our legs. So for our band people, keep them there. What you're going to do is you're just going to take your right hand, you're going to put it on top of that right knee. You're going to pick that right leg up off the floor. So this is for our hip adductors and abductors. So this is going to be opening and closing our hips. So you can do this without the band, and Rachel will be showing you how. But when you have the band, you're just going to create that resistance. So your leg is off the floor. You're going to pull it out and slowly bring it back in without touching the floor.
Okay, and if you don't have a band that you're able to use, you can use your hand to kind of create some resistance. So I'm pushing as I'm bringing that out and then slowly bringing it back. It's a little bit different, but we just try and work with what we've got. So you're using that hand to push and pushing against it with the leg and then bringing it back.
And switch feet. So left hand on that left knee. You're going to pick that left leg up off the floor, bring it out, and back in with control. The idea behind this is you don't race to put your leg back together because we want that resistance. We want that control. Okay, and this next one, I'm going to be using a little beach ball here. It's partially deflated, which makes it a little bit easier. But at home you can use something like a pillow, anything that you can kind of squish. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the item, put it in between your legs, and all you're going to do is use that force to push towards it. So we're going to be pushing our legs together, and you're going to hold. And when you're holding, think about breathing. Also think about your posture. Make sure your shoulders are nice and straight back. We're not stooped forward or anything like that. Keep the pressure from your legs onto that object in between. And you want to hold this for about 15 seconds if you can. So this one's a little bit longer.
And again, like Alexa said, you could use a pillow, you could use a rolled up towel, anything that has a little bit of give to it so that you can squeeze against it.
Okay, so we're going to move up towards our abdominal region. We'll show you a little exercise here that will help you to strengthen that region, which is our core, that we can do in sitting. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand, put it on your right knee, and the way that this works is we're going to be sucking in our abs, so same thing as you normally would. You breathe in, you suck your belly in, and then you're going to take your hand and push it into your knee. And then your knee will push back into that hand. So there's a little resistance spot here, okay? So we breathe in, Suck in that belly and push. Right hand into that right knee. Don't be afraid if the foot comes up. You really want to create that pressure. That's going to activate your lower abdominals once you create this pressure here. It's very important with this exercise not to forget to breathe. So we breathe in through your nose, suck in those abs, and breathe out slowly. Apply more pressure. Keep it nice and tight in that region. Rest, and then switch. Left hand, left knee. Breathe in and push as you blow out. Good. So we're going to move to a bit more dynamic ones where we're moving. So one of the most common ways to exercise at home, if you're sitting and watching TV, is to practice sitting and standing. So I'm going to turn to my side so you can see a little bit better. Well, what we're going to do is make sure you have some kind of surface where you can hang on to with both hands. If you want a more advanced level, you can use no hands. So all you're going to do is you're going to keep your knees a little bit bent, a little bit back, and we're just going to sit and stand. So we're going to stand up, nice and controlled, sit back down, nice and controlled.
And again, if you need to use your hands, 1 or 2 to give you a little bit more strength to push up, please do, or when sitting back down or when standing to start. And a good thing to think about is keeping those feet about a shoulder width apart. And as well, think about pushing, if you can, through the heels more so than the toes. Kind of helps to keep you balanced a little bit better.
And just keep that back straight the entire time.
So it's kind of like a squat with a chair. It's a little bit safer than just a regular squat.
Okay, good. Now we're going to move into our standing exercises. So when you stand up from your chair, make sure you have something nice and comfortable that you can hang on to just in case you need it for balance. This next one we're going to do is our lunges. So they're very good for our leg strength and for our squatting as well. So what we're going to do with this one is you're going to have one version where you can do it without weights and one version where you can do it with a weight. So we're going to start with our right leg. So our right leg is going to go forward. Our left leg is going to go back. You're going to take your right knee and bend it, not so much that it's over your toe, just a little bit back. And to do a proper lunge, you're going to be taking that back leg. So for me, it's my left leg. And I'm just going to bend that knee down and bring it back up. So you'll notice that my knee on my right side doesn't go over my toe. I'm sitting down into the lunge.
And with the weights, you can keep them down here. You can have them up here if that's more comfortable, whatever you prefer.
Same thing with your arms. You can keep them close, keep them out, whatever you might need for balance. If you need something right here like a chair, go for it. Okay, switch sides. So left leg forward, right leg back. I'm going to bend that right knee and sink into the lunge.
And even if you can just go a little ways, that's always better than nothing. So don't worry if you have knee issues and you can't go as deep as what you see us going.
Even if you just go this way, right? Even just a little bend. It's all about that control with this lunge.
And only use the weights if you find it easy doing it the way Alexa's doing with no weights.
Okay. So now we're going to move into some exercises that are going to involve a wall and some other instruments around your home.
Okay, so the first one that we're going to be doing is wall push-ups. So really all that you need is a wall, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to stand at the wall, put your arms about a shoulder width apart. You're going to stand a little bit away from the wall, realizing that the further away that you stand, the harder it will be, okay? And if we think about a regular push-up, we're just going to be bending those elbows, trying to keep your bum and back straight, bringing your nose to the wall, and slowly coming back.
So if you pretend a wall's in front of me, you're just going forward and coming back.
And as much as you can, trying to keep that bum in line with your back. And again, if you go a little further away, it's going to be harder because you're going to have further to go. And your arms are going to have to guide you through that. One way to make this a little more difficult, or even target a little bit of different muscles, you can bring your hands closer together. Some people will do almost like a diamond shape, okay? And then what you're going to do with this, again, the same thing. But you'll notice that more of the pressure is now on your tricep muscles. So it'll just target things a little bit differently if you want to try and make it a little bit more challenging and target a different area. All right? So the next one that we're going to do is a plank. So you might think of, you see people doing them on the ground. We realize not everybody's able to get down on the ground. And so we can also do this at the wall. So kind of a similar stance to what we're doing for our push-up, but you're going to bring your arms, bring those forearms flat with your hands up, or in a fist position is often how I like it. And then what you're doing, see what's comfortable for you, but you have to adjust your position so that you find you're engaging your core muscles. So you're going to be squeezing those stomach muscles together. Again, trying to keep your bum and back in line with each other. And then you're just going to be holding it in that position. Usually we say try to hold for 10 to 15 seconds. And again, the whole time really making sure you squeeze those stomach muscles together. Keeping, again, your bum in line with your back. And if you need to lean, you can lean forward, but you don't want to lean forward too much like this or be up too much like this. So you're trying to just keep, again, nice and level and the core engaged.
You want to keep your body nice and level, so don't stick your butt out. Don't bring your butt in. Keep it nice and leveled and straight as you're going forward.
Okay. So the other one that we're going to be doing, we call it alternate leg and arm raises. And again, this uses the wall. So you may have seen, again, some people will do this one on the ground. We're going to be using the wall for our purposes. So if you can, you're going to bring both arms up above your head. And to start out, you can just bring one arm behind, keeping the rest in contact with the wall, and slowly bring it back. Try with the opposite arm. Now we're going to try with one leg. Bringing it back, and slowly bring back to the wall, and try with the opposite leg. And then if you feel comfortable, see how you feel balance-wise, you can keep just doing one arm and one leg separate, or you can try the opposite arm and opposite leg, bringing them back. Holding a couple seconds, and then bringing them back to the wall slowly, and trying the opposite side. And this is really good for your back muscles. And important that, again, we're doing it safely. So only do this opposite arm, opposite leg if you feel you can manage it balance-wise. And we'll do two more. All right, very good. So the next one that we're going to be doing, oh, we did that one. Oh, sorry, the spinal ones. I'm sorry. Hear me off. Okay,
so we'll go with spinal exercises.
Yeah. So the next one that we're going to be doing, you might find that throughout the day, our posture often gets a little bit worse, especially if we're sitting watching TV on the computer.
Like this after a while, if we're not checking on it, right? Doing those shoulder rolls, doing those head rolls.
And we call this kind of posture forward head posture, when you find your neck seems to push forward at the end of the day and your chin is further out than it should be. So one of the exercises that you can do for that, so you're going to basically bring that chin back as much as you can. You can use your hand to guide you just to start. Trying to keep your back straight. Sometimes it's nice to stand at the wall and do this one. So you can exaggerate the head forward and then bring it back and hold it for a couple of seconds. And do the same thing. Forward, bring it back, Sometimes the wall just helps to guide you a little bit. Forward, back. And for this one, you're really just small muscles in your neck that you're activating, so you may not feel it very much, but it definitely does help with the posture piece. So we'll do one more. So nice forward, and then bring it right back. Very good. So we have two more to show you. One of them that we're going to be doing is called a standing back bend. So we're going to use this chair, and you can use a chair, whatever you have around you, something that you can hold on to. So you're going to stand with it behind you, put your hands on it, bring your feet out in front, and then you're basically bringing your head back and bringing your shoulder blades together. So you're stretching out your chest area, okay? And this is a really good one for your back. A lot of times we notice again that we do this throughout the day, so this can be a nice stretch to do even a couple of times a day when you find that you've been getting into that hunched posture. And we usually just hold this for 10 to 15 seconds and then come back. Okay, so that's kind of a nice one to finish off some of that. And the last one that we're going to do some hip circles. So you're going to be standing. If you need to hold on, keep the chair nearby. Going to bring the hip up and come around. And you can go this way. You can also go backwards. Okay, and this again just helps open up the hip area and is a good one, especially after we've done some hip exercises. And then we'll try the other leg. And Alexa, you notice she's not bringing her foot down, so that's a little bit harder. She's actually challenging her balance more with that one. Okay, so if you can keep up without bringing your foot actually down. If you find that you need to bring it down in between, then feel free to do so, whatever you're comfortable with. All right, so that brings us to an end with our strength exercises. We hope you've enjoyed them. As always, if you do have questions or things, you can always call us or leave us a comment, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hello, welcome to our Boosting Balance Cool Down. I'm Rachel.
I'm Alexa.
And we're occupational therapists. And these exercises, or stretches rather, that we're going to lead you through, these are ones that you want to do after you've done some exercises. So we don't like to do, we call it static stretching, so where you're holding a stretch. We don't like to do that until we've had a chance to warm up our muscles properly. So you want to do this after you've done the exercises, okay? So we're going to start out in standing, and we're going to start out with an upper back stretch. So you're going to bring your arms in front. If you can, link them together, those hands. And you're just going to push forward as far as you're able to, feeling hopefully a nice stretch in your upper back in this area here, okay? And these stretches we want to try and hold for about 15 to 20 seconds, okay? If the linking is hard, you can just have your arms out like that as well. Not everyone's able to link them, okay? And you should feel this again, upper back and kind of shoulder area, okay? And bring those down. Then what we're going to do, I like to stretch out our chest, so you're going to bring those hands behind, okay? And it's kind of the same thing, but the opposite way. So you're stretching out with this one, your chest, okay? And again, if you can't link, just bring them back as far as you're able to, and you should feel, again, a nice stretch in that chest area when you're doing this one. And again, holding for 15 to 20 seconds as long as you're able, okay? The next one that we can do, we're gonna do one to stretch out our calf muscle, okay? So with this one, you get your chair, you bring one foot in front, and the back leg, you're trying to line it up with that front leg, and you want to keep that back leg straight and lean forward and bend that front knee. So you should feel a nice stretch in your back calf, this area right here. Okay, you can use, doesn't have to be a chair, it can be a wall, anything that kind of gives you a little bit of support. And again, we're going to be holding that for 15 to 20 seconds. And then what we're going to do is switch. So you're going to bring the opposite leg back, the other one in front, and again bending that forward knee and keeping that back leg straight as best you can. So trying to keep that back heel on the ground if you're able. You'll get a deeper stretch that way. And again, we're holding all of these for 15 to 20 seconds to get the maximum benefit. All right, so then we're going to sit. So we're going to bring our chair and we'll sit down. And we're going to finish off our leg stretches. So with this one, you can bring your bum a little more to the edge of the chair. Bring your leg out front. And what you're going to do, making sure that you're bending at your hip area, not at your waist, you're going to bend down to try and reach that toe as best you can. Okay, you just go to the point of tension. Don't worry about trying to touch your toe. As you can see, I can't. But you're just trying to feel that tension in the leg. So you should feel it. You'll feel a bit in your calf, but then you'll also feel it up through your hamstring back here, okay? And if you want a deeper stretch, you can try pointing that toe upwards as well, okay? And again, we're holding these 15 to 20 seconds. And we'll switch legs. So other leg out, straightening it, bending again from the hip, trying not to bend right from the waist, and you're just going to that point of tension again, okay? And straight and bringing that toe towards you if you can to deepen the stretch a little bit. Very good. So the other one that you can do, and there's a couple ways you can do this one, more for your buttocks muscle, you can bring your leg up. So you've got your foot on the opposite knee, and then push that knee down, and you should feel a stretch in this area. If you're not able to bring the leg up, I know sometimes that can be difficult, you can keep it down like this and push out on the knee, or bring it up even just a little bit and get the same kind of stretch, okay? So you can always, there's always a way to do it, you just might have to modify it a little bit. And the same thing, we're holding it 15 to 20 seconds. And we'll try the opposite one. So again, bringing it up if you can, and pushing down on that knee, or like Alexa's doing, the modified version. If you're not able to get it up there, there's still a way to get that stretch in. Again, we're holding all of these 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, and bringing that down. So the last couple are for our arms and shoulders. So bring one arm in front, and the opposite arm is going to come under and grab that shoulder. Okay? And you're just going to hold that, again, 15 to 20 seconds. And just do what you're able to do. If you do have any shoulder injuries or things like that and something hurts, you don't have to do it. You're just doing what feels comfortable again, okay? A light stretch is okay, but we don't want any kind of shooting pains. And then we'll switch, okay? So other arm in front, opposite arm under, and grab that shoulder. Very good. And the last one that we're going to do, so you're going to bring one arm up if you're able to, the other arm up over your head, and grab that elbow and pull it a little bit to the opposite side. So you should feel a nice little stretch in that area of the arm.
So if you can't reach your arm to grab the elbow, just take and push at the bottom, right at your shoulder, and push it forward. So you're just going to push into that shoulder, and then you'll get the same type of stretch without having to reach your elbow.
There's always different ways that we can do most of these exercises and stretches. And then we'll just switch arms. So this one comes up, grab the opposite elbow, and again bring it towards you just until you feel that stretch right in that area. Okay, sometimes I like to just do a little shake as well to kind of shake everything out. Those are the cool down stretches that we have. We hope that you've enjoyed these videos and that you'll join us again.
Bye-bye.